Living in fear is really boring because it's the same thing every day. It's hard to admit, but in so many ways, I live a life that's controlled by fear and it sucks. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep going to this job that I know is beneath my abilities because I'm too scared to go out and get the job that I actually want and fail, and then I might not even be able to come back to this job. Or it's like I could take control of my finances, but I'm scared to learn about financial stuff because then I'm going to have to realize how much I don't know and don't have and could have had by now if I started taking this seriously earlier. When you live like this without realizing it, your life becomes so steadily bland because you've essentially shut yourself off from experiences that foster growth. You're trying to protect yourself from being disappointed and struggling, but what you're really doing is locking yourself into a place in life where you're not taking any risks at all, which is really the most disappointing and struggle-filled way to live. I'm not necessarily saying like go quit your job and pack a bag and get on a random Greyhound bus and start a new life somewhere. I'm saying that taking risks and doing things that you wouldn't normally do, even if it's like, okay, I'm actually going to start making eye contact with people, is what makes life dynamic. That's what makes life worth going through. I get it though. We have been through so much. Like, I'm just trying to keep my head above water and survive. Why the hell would I be interested in taking risks and like potentially getting more pain into my life when I already feel like I'm at my limit? Because if you don't take any risks and continue to just live a disappointing life, it's like, okay, great, you've secured your disappointing life. The suffering that you're going through right now, you've decided to make it so that it's there guaranteed. So as far as you can control, things aren't going to get worse, which is why you're doing this. This is why you aren't taking any risks. But the same way, as far as you can control, things aren't going to get better either. Like, imagine that you only eat things like instant noodles, microwave ready meals, frozen food, because you're scared that if you buy real groceries like produce and meats and stuff like that, you won't cook it properly. When you don't live creatively and instead live fearfully, that's what you're doing with your life. You're waking up every day and saying, yep, I'll take the same BS from yesterday, and literally missing out on a whole world of positive experiences, encounters, life changes, because you're worried that things won't go well and you'll regret leaving your frozen pizza. It can be so much harder to do this when you have unresolved trauma, and I know this from personal experience. I didn't move out of my mom's house until I was 25, even though it was such a toxic environment, because I thought like, oh, the last thing I need right now, on top of feeling constantly horrible, is potentially having to worry about paying rent, not realizing at the time how much life would be better and is better after taking that risk. It's a concept of loss aversion. You don't see the magnitude, you don't see how valuable, how amazingly valuable, so valuable what you would gain after taking this risk is, and you don't want to lose what little you feel you have, so you choose inaction, usually until you truly cannot do it anymore.